Good evening. I've realized that it's been a while since I've streamed Morrowind, which is one of my favorite computer games of all time. And I wanted to do something a little bit different with Morrowind today. I wanted to show you how to make a book in the Morrowind editor. So today I'm actually going to show you how mods are made. And we're going to make a poetry book with the help of ChatGPT, which is probably the most talented poet I know. So if we come over here, you can see we're in the editor. No, we're not. All right, we're in the editor. So we need to load data files first. So we will load vanilla, which is Morrowind and its 2 official expansions. And so Morrowind's going to come up, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create ourselves a blank book to work with. So we're going to come over here. And the object window did not render properly. It's missing all its tabs. All right, there we go. We fixed it. We go to book. Let's find a book whose design we like. Oh, that's just a parchment. We're looking for a book. There's a couple different. There's a couple different book designs. I want to pick something attractive from the thumbnail. There's a few different book models in the game. And I just want to pick a cool one. Alright, we can use that book model. And I will maybe... what's that one book I really like? You know, we're wasting too much time. I want to get started. So we're going to take this book. We're going to make it blank. We're going to call it poetry. And basically what we're going to do is when we and specifically, we're going to ask ChatGPT for sonnet form, because that's a fairly standard poem form, and it'll give us a little bit of consistency through our book. So I'm going to call it Morrowind Sonnets, and I will just call it Volume 1, even though we're not anticipating planning a Volume 2 at this time. Maybe one for Tamriel Rebuilt topics on a future stream. We're going to take out the existing text. I have changed the object ID. Create a new object. Yes. Which means we did not affect the original object. So now, as we ask ChatGPT for our as we ask ChatGPT to write our poetry, we can copy the poems into this text box and they will become part of the book. We'll use this BR code to break lines, and we'll use 3 of them to separate the individual poems. Now we're going to come into ChatGPT itself, and we're going to, before we start with poetry, we're going to ask it to write us a little introduction. Please write a paragraph introducing a poetry book about Morrowind. And I've cleared my ChatGPT history just for the stream.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to the chat?
I am talking to the stream.
Okay.
Alright, so it says, step into the enchanting world of Vardenfell with verses of Vardenfell, poetry inspired by Morrowind. This captivating collection of poems transports readers to the mystical realm of Morrowind, a land of ancient mysteries and fantastical adventures. From the hauntingly beautiful landscapes of the Bitter Coast to the bustling markets of Vivec City, this anthology of verse weaves together the vivid imagery, complex characters, and rich lore that have made Elder Scrolls III Morrowind a beloved and enduring classic in the world of gaming. These poems delve deep into the heart of the game, capturing its essence and inviting both fans and newcomers to rediscover the magic and wonder of this unforgettable realm through the art of words. Yeah, we got to redo that because this is meta. This is their. Please write a paragraph introducing a poetry book about Morrowind inside the world of Morrowind. Let's try this again. We've confused it. It's thinking. I've never seen ChatGPT think this long. Did I break it? Now let's wait a moment and see what happens. It looks like we broke ChatGPT. Okay. Let's kill it. How about instead of a paragraph intro, how about we just do an introductory poem? We do an introductory poem about Morrowind instead. Please write a sonnet about Morrowind. Please write an in-universe sonnet about Morrowind from Morrowind. And I'll go ahead and change that to Vardenfell, and I'll copy that so I can use that prompt as a template for the other poems. Alright, in Vardenfell, where ash and fire embrace, a land of mysteries and ancient lore, volcanic cradle, Daedric realms in place, where Dunmer culture, resilient, does soar. Red Mountain looms, a sentinel so tall, its fiery heart, a source of power deep. Ash storms may rage, but we stand proud and small. In this harsh land, our secrets we shall keep. Bitter coastlines, netches drifting by the shore, silt striders tread the land, with grace they roam. Morrowind's beauty, both wild and moor, in Varnfell, a land we call our home. From Balmora's grace to Solstime's icy chill, in Varnfell, our hearts and dreams fulfill. That's a very good start. Let's copy this over into the editor now. And I will go through and insert the breaks a little bit later. Or we need to do that between poems. And actually on every line, because this is poetry. We'll have to fix the formatting after we finish, I think, but we'll still do the poetry breaks. We'll still do the between poems breaks. All right, let's go back to ChatGPT. And all right, let's start with 3 poems, one for each of the tribunal gods. Oh, and I've already broken the page breaks anyway, so let me go ahead and we'll just recopy the template afterwards. All right. Now these line breaks should allow the poem to appear properly once we open the book in-game. Let's come back. All right, so we're going to do 3 poems now, one for each of the tribunal gods, and then we'll copy them in and see where we want to go from there. Please write an in-universe sonnet about the god Vivek. In Morrowind, where gods and mortals entwine, Vivek, a deity of the living grace, with features godlike, mystic, and divine, a god who wears a mortal's mortal face. 3 aspects in one being, trinity's embrace, warrior, poet, and thief all rolled in one. A living god whose wisdom we embrace, through trials, tribulations, trials are won. The warrior's strength with mighty sword in hand, the poet's words to shape the world anew, the thief's sly wit, a clever, crafty brand, in Varnfell, Vivek's words ring true. In Tamriel's heart, this god's tale unfurled, Vivek, a god who shapes the mortal world. And actually, since we have our template, let's go ahead and write all the poems, and then we'll copy them into the editor moving forward. So let's do one for Almalexia. So we're doing all the tribunal, and I'll do one for Dagothr as well, the big villain from the game, because he's a cool villain. And does ChatGPT not like Almalexia? Or is it just slow right now? Let's see. Let's try that again. Let's try Almalexia again. Alright, there it goes. In Morrowind, where ancient legends speak her name, Almalexia, a goddess graced with might, a living deity in ethereal flame, she soars above the land, a radiant light. With visage fair, her presence doth inspire awe and reverence in her subjects' hearts. Her grace and power ever to aspire, to reach the heights where her divinity imparts. Her love and care for all, a boundless sea, in her embrace the people find their peace. A guiding star, she leads them to be free. Their troubles in her presence find release. Almalexia, goddess of grace and might, in Morrowind, you are our guiding light. I like that one. See what I said about ChatGPT being one of the best poets around? Now we're going to do the last of the tribunal gods, Sothasil. Please, In Morrowind, where shadows dance and twist, there dwells a god, a master of machine. Sothasil, whose secrets none resist, a deity, enigmatic, rarely seen. With clockwork heart, his mind a brilliant maze, he wove the fabric of the clockwork city, a realm of gears and cogs in endless phase, a testament to boundless ingenuity. A god of mystery, logic, and design, he sought to elevate his people's plight. Through artifice and knowledge so divine, he shaped their fate in the eternal night. Sothasil, your wisdom guides our way, in Morrowind's embrace we'll ever stay. Okay, let's do Dagoth now. In Morrowind, where shadows cast their pall, Dagoth did rise, a darkened might. With heart of Lorkhan he sought to enthrall, to claim divinity, to take his flight. Beneath red mountains' fiery ashen breath, his citadel did stand, a twisted shrine. Corrupted dreams, a web of whispered death, he wove with power stolen, not benign. In ashen fire his minions did obey, corpus infected, bound to his dark will. Nerevar's friend he led astray, with stolen gods his purpose to fulfill. But heroes rose, the Nerevarines' call, to free the land from Dagoth's thrall. And now we're going to write a poem about the Nerevarine prophecy. I don't want to write a poem about the Nerevarine themselves because since we're putting the book in the game world, it's possible that the events may not have come to pass yet when you discover the book. About the Nerevarine prophecy. In Varnfell, where ash and fire unite, a hero walks, fulfilling ancient lore. The Nerevarine, born to endless night, shall rise to challenge gods and mortals more. Azora's eye, a harbinger of fate, betrays the signs, a chosen outlander's birth, to break the chains of destiny and hate, and claim their role upon the sacred earth. Through trials, ash storms, and the blighted land, they rise emboldened by the prophecies, in temples and among the Daedric band, defying all who doubt their destinies. The Nerevarine, a legend to revere, shall free the land and banish ancient fear. Oh, ChatGPT is on a roll. This book's going to be amazing when we finish. But let's move away from gods and let's get into some more normal, everyday things. Let's do 2 poems for the beast races of Morrowind. The Khajiit cat people and Argonian lizard people. In lands of Morrowind, where the shadows play, the Khajiit roam in the lunar night's grace. With fur of moonlight they quietly sway, in moon sugar sweet they find their solace. Feline grace and keen eyes that gleam so bright, they navigate the ashlands, sands, and more. With whispers soft as wind in the still night, they walk the moon's path on elsewhere's shore. In Tamriel's tapestry, a race unique, with agile steps they dance through life's grand scheme. From warm sands to the ash they swiftly seek the secrets hidden in the moon's pale beam. O Khajiit, your mystique and tales does bind, in moonlight's embrace your lore we find. Alright, let's keep going. All of these are bangers. Let's do the Argonians now. In Morrowind's land, where shadows softly creep, where swamps and secrets intertwine and play, the Argonians, guardians of the deep, with scales and hearts as dark as night, hold sway. They rise from murky waters, shadows kin, with eyes that gleam like gems from ancient lore. Their silent footsteps shroud their form within, a race of mysteries forevermore. Amphibious, they move through life's domain, both land and water where they find their grace, connected to the Hist, an ancient chain, a people bound by roots, a sacred place. In Morrowind, the Argonians find their fate, a race unique, both enigmatic and great. Let's do one for the mysterious ancient Dwemer. This should be a fun one. The Dwemer were a race of technologically advanced. They were a technologically advanced society that disappeared one day and left their facilities. They're all over the world. I did that wrong. We need to do a new chat for each poem. In Morrowind, where Dwemer once did dwell, beneath the earth their secrets they did keep. A race of engineering minds did swell, ingenious minds in darkness, vast and deep. Their cities forged in metal, stone, and steam, machines and wonders, power uncontrolled. Their knowledge vast, a scholar's endless dream, yet mysteries and riddles left untold. With tonal architecture they did play, manipulating sound to shape the world. A power hidden from the light of day, their secrets like their people tightly curled. The Dwemer, now but echoes in the past, intrigues and questions in their shadow cast. Alright, let's do one about the Imperial presence. Okay, this one gave us a couple extra lines. Interesting. In Morrowind, the Empire's shadow cast, a foreign might with Dunmer's face entwined, red mountains ash concealing secrets vast, a union forged by treaties redefined. Resplendent legions gleaming in the east, on Vardenfell's shores they held their sway. The narrow Varine's destiny increased, as foreign rule brought forth a brand new day. With ebony they fortified their hold, in Balmora and Sadrith Mora's tide. But still, in Ashlander hearts the old, traditions thrive where faith and honor bide. In Morrowind, the Empire's banners waved, a province shaped by powers old and new, a land of contrast, secrets, souls enslaved. In Tamriel's tapestry, it found its hue. Alright, how are we on time? We've done poetry for about 15 minutes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do one about the Dunmer themselves. And we'll also do one about the Daedra. In In Morrowind's dark heart the Dunmer reside, a race of fire and ash by fate defined. With eyes of crimson on their land they bide, in ash and lava's dance their souls entwined. Their skin a dusky hue with grace they bear, as ash storms sweep over Varnfell's expanse. The tribunal gods they once did revere, in ancient times their culture's mystic dance. But now the Dunmer stand divided, torn, House Redoran, Telvanni, Hlaalu sway. Yet still their strength and spirit shall be born, through trials faced in night and fleeting day. With destiny entwined they forge their way, in Morrowind's embrace they'll ever stay. And that, of course, is about the Dunmer, the home race of Morrowind. Let's do one about the Daedra now. In Morrowind, where Daedra's secrets lie, the realm of Azora, Hermaeus, and more, with otherworldly grace they touch the sky, in shimmered plains their power they implore. Mephala weaves a web of shadows deep, her whispers guide the dark in subtle art, while Shigarath, mad, doth laugh and leap, a jesting lord who tears the world apart. Sanguine's revelry fills the night's embrace, his revelers in revels they delight. Bothea's strength in warriors we trace, in honor we prepare for righteous fight. O Daedra of Morrowind, in legends hold, your mystic presence we shall ever extol. Alright, let's do... We're up to 12, so let's do the 3 houses and Solstheim and see where we feel. We're going to do the 3 great houses featured in the game. We're not going to worry about Indoril and Dres from Tamriel Rebuilt. We're just doing Vanilla Morrowind today. Shh. So we're going to do our House Redoran poem. In Morrowind's ancient land, House Redoran strong, with honor bound their spirit does belong. Upon the rocky shores of Redoran's grace, they stand as bastions in that distant place. Their noble heart, with valor burning bright, defends the land against the darkest night. From Ashlander's threat to blighted creatures' scorn, in Redoran's name a new day shall be born. With indomitable will and steadfast might, they guard their kin from Morrowind's endless fight. With honor as their guide and virtue's quest, House Redoran's resolve put to the test. So raise a toast to Redoran's noble name, in Vivec's grace they shall forever claim their fame. Alright, let's do House Hlaalu. In Morrowind's heart, where cunning minds reside, House Hlaalu thrives, in shadows they abide. Masters of trade, with coin and wit they steer, their power and ambition crystal clear. With guile and silver tongues they weave their lore, in politics and commerce they explore. Morrowind's heart, their realm of schemes and dreams, where golden fortunes flow in cunning streams. Adaptability, their greatest strength, in Varnfell's defense, ashen length. And Varnfell's adaptability, their greatest strength, in Varnfell's diverse, ashen length. Influence they peddle, secrets they maintain. In House Hlaalu they play the long game. Beneath the surface, power subtly lies. House Hlaalu's game, a dance of clever spies. Alright, clearly by my misspeaking in that one, getting a little tired of reading, so we still have to do House Telvanni, and I want to do Solstheim Island. And that'll be 16 poems already, which is a lot of formatting we'll have to process in the book. So we're doing, in Morrowind's heart, where ash and fire reign, House Telvanni spires stretch to the sky. A realm of magic where the bold attain their power through mysteries none can decry. They're wizards secretive in towers high. With secrets and with spells they are enthralled. To reach the peaks they dare to touch the sky, and claim the might that once was unrecalled. In fungus towers, fungal forests sprawl, a strange and alien beauty they possess. With spells and incantations at their call, in Tilvani's realm they find their success. So House Tilvani's power ever soars in Morrowind's land where magic still roars. Okay, we're doing pretty well with this, I think. Let's do a poem about Solstheim Island, and that's 16 poems. Um, do I want to do the big cities? That would be the main cities for each house as well as Vivek. I guess we could do the big cities. Or not. Let's do Solstheim. In Morrowind's embrace, where snowflakes fall, a land of contrast, Solstheim stands tall. Betwixt the ash and ice, a realm untamed, where Daedric influence has left its mark proclaimed. From Raven Rock to Skull Village's hearth, the island's secrets lie beneath the earth. A tale of ancient dragons, power and fate, in frost and flames, Solstheim's story we await. The heart of ebony, a prize so rare, draws heroes and villains with a deadly glare. On ash-choked plains and glaciers so profound, the island's mysteries in whispers can be found. A realm of challenge where legends are born, in Solstheim's icy heart, adventure is sworn. Alright, let's write one more poem. Let's write a poem, let's have it write a poem saying look out for volume 2 later. Please write an in-universe sonnet about, what did I call the book? It might be confusing to include this one actually. But let's read it. In Morrowind, where strange adventures blend, the poetry book, volume 2, we find. A treasure sought where verses softly wind, in Varnfell this lure shall never end. Upon its pages words of beauty flow, intriguing tales of elves and distant lands. A world of magic where the ashland stands, and Tamriel's heart where destinies grow. With quill and ink the poets' voices soar, their verses guide us through this wondrous land, a tapestry of dreams both vast and grand, in dusty tomes their tales we still explore. Morrowind's heart with secrets to bestow, in Poetry Book Volume 2 we grow. So this will be foreshadowing when we write the sequel poetry book, because we're just touching the surface of poetic topics we can hit in Morrowind. And Tamriel Rebuilt, that has so much more as well. There's a lot. We're basically just touching the surface here with these 17 poems. So now we're going to switch back over into the editor, and I'm going to start copying the text from these poems into the editor. So let's do these in order. We've already copied the intro paragraph. So we did the God poems first. So we're going to copy over Vivek's poem. And then we're going to copy over Alexia's poem as soon as it loads. And ChatGPT is lagging a bit. Alright, here's Alexia's poem. And then here's Sothasil's poem. Alright, ChatGPT is lagging. There we go. Let us proceed. Alright, and then here's the Neverine poem. And here's the Khajiits.
I gotta go to bed.
And the Argonians. And here's the Dwemer. Here's the Empire. And here's the Dunmer. And the Daedra. Here's Redoran. Here's Slalu. Here's Tilvani. Here's Solstheim. And here's the book foreshadowing the sequel. Let's save the book so we don't lose the copies we just made. And now we're going to come back into our book and do some formatting. This BR piece is very important. Single breaks between stanzas, triple breaks between poems. I think that should format properly. So now we're just going down the line, adding our line breaks. I researched for a while to see if there was a way to do page breaks so we could put each poem on a distinct page. Unfortunately, there's only line breaks, and the only way to preview that is the way it looks is in game itself. So here's a poem break. Sorry if I get quiet for a bit. We're at less than 1% drop frames, which is a good thing. It means we have a solid connection. Not sure what's going to happen once we actually bring up the game to test it. Oh, and I've never actually saved the mod as a whole. We're going to do that in a minute. Alright, we're up to the Dagothur poem. These line breaks are absolutely crucial for making the book look okay. That's why we're taking the time to do this. Alright, we're going to keep going. I think 17 poems is enough. I'm not going to recite them again while we're testing, but we are going to thumb through the book. Alright. We're coming through the Khajiit and Argonian poems now. So we're about halfway through with the formatting. I hope it looks okay when we test. Alright, we're up to the Empire one. This is the one where it gave me two extra lines, so I have to be careful with formatting this one. Alright, there we go. And we're on to the next poem. And all the others have the correct number of lines. So at this point, it's just a matter of copying the line break. Alright. Only a couple more left to go, I think. I know this part isn't fun to watch, but if we don't do this part, the book's not going to appear good. Alright, we're up to the house poems. We're up to Solstheim, which is the second to last poem. So, yeah, we're almost done formatting. The poetry book. Morrowind Sonnets. I'm going to change this to the actual name of the series we've established. Morrowind Sonnets. So this book's going to tell you this poem's going to tell you go find volume 2, but volume 2 doesn't really exist. And do we want to give this a skill? Do any skills actually make sense? Illusion? No. Mercantile? Mysticism? Speechcraft. It makes sense for poetry to train speechcraft. We're making this a speechcraft skill book. Alright, the book is saved. Let's create the mod file. We're going to call it poetry. Now, I'm going to go load up the game. Wait, we have to place this into the world, don't we? Alright, I have a couple places in mind. Let's do Caius Casade's house in Balmora. He's your counselor in the game. So let's go ahead and drop it here. I have 4 places in mind to drop this book. Okay, it's been a while since I used the editor. I don't remember all the controls. Let's see if we can... Alright. Alright. I guess on the table's as good a place as any to put the book. Or even sitting on the edge of the bed, maybe. Let's see if I remember how to do this. No, we're not over the bed yet. Alright, the book is now sitting on the edge of the bed. And now we want to put one into Jobash's Rare Books in Vivek Foreign Quarter. And here we'll put one over the desk. No, I can't do that without intersecting geometry. How about on this empty spaces shelf right here? We're not actually going to go to all 4 of these locations. We're just going to go to, we're going to drop one into the State of Neen Census and Excise Office so we can see it during our quick character gen for testing. But before we do that, we're going to want to drop one into the Corpusarium at Telfair. Next to Yagroom Begarn, the last living Dwemer, who somehow survived the disappearance of his race. So now there'll be 2 books sitting next to him. I want to... Oh, shoot. Let's see. On this little stool behind him is probably the best place to put it. We're almost at the stool. And these dark images, the depth perception is really screwing with me. But there, we got it on the stool behind him. And now for Satanine Census and Excise, where we start the game. Okay, that's not the right one. I need to study the movement controls for the mod maker, obviously, because it's been a while and I'm out of practice. Yeah, there's the final guy. Am I sure? Yes, Celis Gravius, he's the final guy. So we're going to drop the poetry book right onto the table here. And we'll be able to test the book without even leaving the character creation area. I'm going to assume it's good enough. We got 4 copies of the book in the world now. Let's save the mod. And now I'm just going to come over into my game folder real quick and make sure it's saved properly. Alright, looks right. I'm going to come back into the game. I'm going to come up to my launcher now. And I'm going to turn on the mod. And Morrowind doesn't like to run while the construction set is open, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out. And you should see a black screen on the screen for a minute. Oh, the launcher came up, which is good. I didn't know the launcher shows up. I didn't know the launcher shows up when I have the actual game window selected, which is good. We're going to go ahead and play now. I've turned on the poetry book mod, and it will load. And Morrowind has a tendency to take a long time to load in this engine. I haven't gotten OpenMW fixed yet, so I'm using original Bethesda engine. And it has a habit of taking a long time to actually load once I start. So now we're going to go into the game world. And we're going to... And we're going to... Yeah, it's taking a little while to load, as I suspected. But it'll come up any moment. Sorry for the black screen, but we're pretty much almost done. We're just going to see how the book looks in the game world. And then after that, we're going to pick a raid. I know stream was a bit on the shorter side, but you got to hear some good poetry today, so it was still enjoyable. We're not going to put too much effort into my throwaway character today because they're literally going to be on screen for a few seconds. Well, maybe a minute or two, but... Oh, there we go. It's time to keep going. We're going to do the skip tutorials again. Quick start means we just put our name and attributes in. We always call ourselves Evie. We're gonna be a Khajiit today. I'm not gonna worry about appearance. Since we're doing a poetry book, we'll make him a bard. Not that it matters, because we're not actually leaving this first room. We're not going outside at all. Now, for which one of these matches poetry the best? Lover, I guess? We'll go with lover for the star sign.
Your papers, please.
All right, let's go talk to him real quick.
You want something, friend?
All right, now if you look at him, that's our guy. Not that it matters because we're about to end stream. And there's the book sitting on the table. Morrowind Sonnets, Volume 1. Weight 3 pounds, value 50 gold. And we just got the Speechcraft bonus for opening it the first time. Remember, skill points from books only trigger the first time you open the book. Alright, it looks a little sloppy, but you can see where the poems split. You can see the big gaps between where the poems split. Probably could have done better to put titles in there, but whatever. This is long for a Morrowind book in terms of number of pages. It's 29 pages, which is big for a Morrowind book. Interesting. So yeah, the book tells you at the end to look out for Volume 2. Alright. It's fairly obvious where the poems split. Maybe I'll go back off stream and add titles, but I'm satisfied where we are for today. So let's put both these guys into the field of vision. So we have an interesting scene to stop you on. All right, we are now paused while I look for a raid. Let's come back over to Twitch. Heavenly's on tonight. Let's go raid Heavenly. She's a good show.
Good night. Oh.
All right, the raid's been established. Looks like I did have a spammer in my chat earlier. Didn't notice. Sorry about that. Oh well. Yeah, that's definitely a spammer who chatted with me earlier. But I didn't even notice. So have a good night, everyone, and I'll probably be doing one more test stream tomorrow, and then I'm go away for a few days, and I'll be back in November when hopefully I'll be streaming regularly again. Have a good night. Days and I'll.
How many people showed up?
Shh.
Are you still in the thing? How many people showed up?
What's going on, yo?